Every year, over 8.6 billion nicotine pouches are manufactured, packed, and shipped by one company, ZYN. That's over 700 million pouches a month, nearly 1,400 every second, and every single one of them starts the same way. A fine white powder, a strip of synthetic fiber, and a precisely tuned line of high-speed machinery. From inside sterile, dust-controlled factories, ZYN has quietly become a global juggernaut. A modern nicotine product that doesn't burn, doesn't spit, doesn't even use traditional tobacco. But how does it all work? How does ZYN scale up a delicate pharmaceutical-like process into something that delivers billions of near-identical pouches a year? Let's step inside the factory where 8.6 billion pouches are made and see what it takes to lead the nicotine pouch revolution. ZYN didn't invent the nicotine pouch, but it perfected the business behind it. The brand is owned by Swedish Match, a company with deep roots in smokeless tobacco dating back to the early 20th century. But in 2014, Swedish Match launched a radical new idea, a tobacco-free pouch, delivering nicotine using only purified salt and flavoring inside a soft white membrane. By 2016, ZYN hit the Scandinavian market. 2 years later, it launched in the US. And by 2019, it exploded in popularity. What made it different? No spit, no smell, no tobacco leaf, and no social stigma. It offered a cleaner, more discreet nicotine experience, one that didn't require fire, lighters, ashtrays, or vaping devices. Just pop a pouch and go. By 2021, ZYN controlled the majority of the US nicotine pouch market. And in 2022, Swedish Match was acquired by Philip Morris International, part of a multi-billion-dollar pivot away from cigarettes. Today, ZYN operates multiple high-speed manufacturing sites, and its dominance shows no signs of slowing. But behind every can is a process most people never see, one built on speed, sterility, and exacting control. ZYN pouches might look simple, white, dry, and odorless until you open the can. But their formulation is anything but basic. Each pouch contains a precisely engineered blend of food-grade fillers, flavorings, pH adjusters, and pharmaceutical-grade nicotine salts. The core ingredient is plant-based fiber, usually derived from eucalyptus or pine, chosen for its soft texture and neutral taste. This acts as the filler, giving the pouch its shape and holding the active ingredients in place. Next comes the nicotine. Unlike traditional dip or chewing tobacco, ZYN uses synthetic nicotine salts, highly purified and free from tobacco leaf residue. This form of nicotine is less volatile, more stable, and easier to absorb through the mouth. To ensure proper absorption and a smooth user experience, each pouch is also infused with pH adjusters, typically sodium carbonate or bicarbonate. These elevate the pH inside your mouth, making nicotine more bioavailable. Flavoring agents round out the recipe. From cool mint and wintergreen to coffee and cinnamon, every flavor is formulated to release slowly over 30 to 60 minutes. ZYN pouches don't contain sugar, tar, or combustion byproducts, and they're designed to stay discreet, no swelling, no spitting, and no mess. It's a product engineered for clean delivery, shelf stability, and mass production. But before these ingredients ever touch a pouch, they're refined, blended, and tested with extreme precision. The heart of every ZYN pouch is its nicotine, and that nicotine begins its life inside a tobacco leaf. While ZYN pouches contain no tobacco plant material, they still rely on the plant as a raw source. The process starts with dried tobacco leaves, which are soaked in a solvent to dissolve the nicotine content. The resulting solution is filtered, distilled, and evaporated, leaving behind pure, crystalline nicotine. But raw nicotine isn't stable enough on its own. So the next step is converting it into nicotine salt, usually nicotine benzoate. This version is smoother on the mouth, more stable over time, and better suited for slow-release formats like ZYN. The salt form also helps prevent the sharp, peppery burn associated with pure nicotine. At this point, the nicotine is tested for purity and potency. Each batch must meet pharmaceutical-grade standards before it's allowed into production. If it passes, it's transferred into sealed stainless steel containers and moved into the batching room for blending. Here, the pure nicotine salt is carefully measured and added to pre-weighed batches of filler and flavor. The ratios are precise. Too much nicotine and the pouch is harsh. Too little and it won't satisfy. Once blended, the mix is sent directly to the pouching line, where things start moving very fast. ZYN's signature texture comes from its filler blend, a uniform mixture that carries the nicotine, flavor, and moisture within each pouch. The process starts with powdered plant fibers, stored in bulk hoppers above the mixing floor. These cellulose-based fibers are dry, light, and absorbent. Think of them as the scaffolding that holds everything else in place. Industrial-scale ribbon mixers, huge horizontal drums with rotating blades, blend the fibers with precise amounts of nicotine salt and flavor additives. The machines are computer-controlled, tracking weight, time, and RPMs down to decimal points. Moisture is added in microdoses. Too much, and the pouches mold. Too little, and the nicotine won't release properly. Each flavor has a unique recipe. Mint blends may include cooling agents, while coffee and citrus blends use oils and natural essences. Before the batch moves on, the mixture is tested for consistency in particle size, density, and moisture. If it fails even one metric, it's discarded or reprocessed. Only when the blend is perfect, dry, uniform, and infused with flavor can it enter the high-speed pouching line. That's where powder becomes product. At the heart of the ZYN factory are the pouching machines, automated lines that churn out thousands of pouches per minute. It starts with a spool of non-woven fabric, light, porous, and food-safe. This material is fed through tension rollers and cut into precise strips. At the same time, the filler blend is dispensed into narrow hoppers that align with each fabric channel. As the fabric moves forward, small volumes of blend are dropped into place. The strip folds around the powder, is heat-sealed along the edges, then sliced into individual pouches, all in under a second. Each machine is a blur of motion. Dozens of tiny conveyor belts, rotating blades, sensors, and robotic arms operate in perfect rhythm. Weight sensors ensure every pouch is within spec, typically around 0.4 to 0.8 grams, depending on strength. Pouches that are overfilled, underfilled, or misshaped are automatically kicked off the line. Seam strength is also critical. Weak seals can lead to leaks, clumping, or product rejection. So machines self-calibrate and perform micro-adjustments in real time. The result? Uniform, clean, pillow-shaped pouches ready for the next phase, canning. Once formed, the pouches ride conveyors to the packaging line, where they're counted, packed, sealed, and labeled with high-speed precision. Robotic counters drop exactly 15 or 20 pouches into pre-formed canisters, depending on product size. Each can is weighed to confirm proper fill weight, within a tolerance of less than 1 to 10th of a gram. Next, a foil seal is pressed onto the opening. This barrier preserves freshness and prevents moisture exchange. A plastic lid follows, snapped into place by a pneumatic press. Every can is batch-coded with a traceable serial number, allowing for full transparency from factory to store shelf. Then the canisters are loaded into cartons, shrink-wrapped, stacked on pallets, and scanned into the inventory system. All of it, inventory, logistics, storage, is tracked in real time. From start to finish, a pouch can go from powdered nicotine to a sealed can in under 30 minutes. And with machines running 24/7, the factory can churn out millions of finished units a day. Ingestible products, especially those containing nicotine, face intense scrutiny. That's why ZYN's quality control is layered, relentless, and deeply automated. Every production line is monitored by inline sensors and vision systems. These catch visual defects, irregular pouch weights, or seam failures in real time. But the deeper checks happen in the lab. Technicians pull random samples from each batch to test for nicotine concentration, flavor profile accuracy, pH levels, which affect how quickly nicotine is absorbed, moisture content, pouch durability. These lab tests ensure that every can delivers the same hit, flavor, and feel, Whether it's made in North Carolina or Sweden, ZYN also complies with national and international regulations. In the US, that means FDA filings, ingredient transparency, and child-resistant packaging. In Europe, it means strict nicotine caps and flavor labeling laws. Each batch of product is held for inspection before it's released. If it fails any test, it's destroyed, no questions asked. Because with 8.6 billion pouches a year, even a tiny mistake could become a massive liability. ZYN factories don't look like traditional manufacturing plants. They feel more like clean rooms, bright, white, and sealed off from the outside. Everything is automated. Conveyor belts snake through production zones. Robotic arms move pallets, refill hopper systems, and swap out spool rolls when they run low. Every station is enclosed in glass, keeping dust and contamination out. Operators don't touch the product. They monitor screens, adjust calibration settings, and log performance data. The factory floor is quiet, cool, and obsessively organized. Each site is designed for linear flow. Raw materials enter one side, and sealed cans roll out the other. Production lines are modular, allowing for quick flavor swaps and changeovers. If demand spikes, lines can be duplicated or scaled up with minimal disruption. Some sites produce tens of millions of pouches per week, with less than 100 people on shift. That's the power of modern automation, and why ZYN's scale is nearly impossible to match. ZYN is no longer just a niche product. It's the leader in a nicotine category that barely existed a decade ago. In the US, it holds over 70% of the nicotine pouch market. In some regions, ZYN outsells every other smokeless product combined. Its reach spans gas stations, grocery chains, pharmacies, and online platforms. The company has expanded its lineup with new flavors, strengths, and even mini pouch formats. As regulations tighten on cigarettes and flavored vapes, ZYN positions itself as the cleaner alternative, offering control, discretion, and consistency. International growth is just beginning. European sales are rising. Emerging markets in Asia and Latin America are being explored. And PMI's global infrastructure means ZYN can scale into nearly any country with distribution and compliance already in place. Projections estimate demand could double by 2030. For a product that didn't exist 10 years ago, that's staggering. And it's all powered by the factories that run day and night, feeding billions of pouches into a nicotine-hungry world.